Happy game day and welcome in to Cincinnati Bengals Talk. I'm James Rapine of allbengals.com. And yes, we're at the home office right now, but we will be in Buffalo later today. It is Bengals, it is Bills. And well, because of the quality lighting and who knows what kind of circumstances they're going to be at Highmark Stadium, I wanted to get this pregame video, this scene setter out to you early, bright and early here on game day. Let's start with injuries. Jonah Williams out as expected. Alex Kappa out as expected. And we're not going to see Trey Flowers as well. He's out today. So what does that mean? Well, we already know that Max Sharping is going to fill in at right guard. We have a really good idea, even though it hasn't been officially said on the depth chart or anything like that, that Jackson Carman is going to get the nod at left tackle. And then as far as Trey Flowers goes, I would expect to see plenty of Dax Hill again this week, which we saw him last week, and he had a kind of a rough outing, a couple of penalties. I expect him to rebound today. But look, this is it. This is the game that a lot of people have been talking about, that all that hype before the Monday night game and everything that went into it, everything that was on the line. Well, now everything is on the line. A second straight AFC Championship appearance is on the line. And this Bengals team is as confident as I've seen them during this 2-year run going into today's game. That I can say. I was at the stadium on Wednesday and Thursday, and from Joe Burrow on down, I think these guys are confident. I think they believe that despite being banged up in the trenches, that they're going to be able to go to Buffalo and be here, or be there in Buffalo and handle business and run their offense. I think that's a thing that a lot of people have asked me this week as I've done different guest appearances on different shows. Well, is it going to be a lot of quick game? And yeah, I think the Bengals are going to run some quick game. I also think they're going to run 3-step drops and 5-step drops. And this is not the Ravens. And the Ravens made the Bengals offense look really bad, especially in the second half. And part of that was they had so few possessions, only 7 possessions on the day. But part of it was they looked bad. And yet, I don't think that's going to be the case today. I think Joe Burrow is going to be able to have enough time, even with Carman at left tackle, have enough time to operate, push the ball down the field, and it's really up to these skill players to deliver. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. I've been hammering that, and I'm going to again. The other thing I've been hammering is today's sponsor. I've been talking about Rivertown Inquiry for a long time. Make sure you get to Rivertown Inquiry, rivertowninquiry.com. They have plenty of Bengals swag. They have some hats, and I got to thank them because, man, oh, man, just the heat right here. And by the way, let me know if you guys are interested in these because they're not for sale yet. But if we get enough people saying that they'd be interested in official CBT gear, well, I'm sure Doug and his team wouldn't mind putting that together, carrying that on their shelves, putting it online as well at rivertowninquiry.com. But they have a ton, so just go there now, rivertowninquiry.com. Thank me later. Let's get back into football because the weather could be an issue, no doubt about it. I think that this Bengals team is going to be okay there. I actually don't think it's going to hurt Jamar Chase much. What's a little snow going to do? And heck, Joe Burrow, he's not going to be afraid of snow. He grew up in Ohio. He's seen snow. He hasn't played in snow a ton. That doesn't matter. He's going to find a way to keep himself warm and do those extra things to where he can, and he'll wear gloves, warm-ups, in pregame. But when he's actually throwing, he's not throwing with gloves. And he does that to keep his hands warm, and he's going to do the right thing. So I think that Joe Burrow is going to have a big game today. I think Jamar Chase is going to deliver. I expect the rest of these guys to deliver. It's a big Samaje Perine game. To me, snap count-wise, why not put your best pass-protecting running back out there to make sure that they don't get to Joe Burrow, whether it is a blitzing linebacker. And that's what happened to the Bills last week is they were able to blitz and find ways to get after Dolphins quarterback Skylar Thompson that way. Blitzing doesn't work against Burrow, but maybe disguising things, bringing from one way or the other. They try to take a page or two out of the Ravens book. I could see that. And so there could be some adjustments. It could be a slower start for this offense. I could also see the opposite where they get off to a fast start and they're just rolling. So this Bengals team, like I said, as confident as I've seen them. And I believe that they're going to deliver today, ladies and gentlemen. And you should check out my prediction video. I get into some keys to victory. But from the top of the roster on down, whether you want to talk about Evan McPherson, Whether you want to talk about T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Jamar Chase on defense, you want to talk about Eli Apple, right? He takes a ton of criticism. You want to talk about Dax Hill's penalties or Cam Taylor-Britt giving up some plays in recent weeks, even though he was really good last week. They always rebound and respond the right way to that adversity. And it's just, when you have that mindset and you have their talent, I think that translates. And they don't make a ton of mistakes. It's not like they're, getting called for 15 penalties and turning the ball over 5 times. They've had games like that this year, but for the most part, maybe not the penalties, but the turnovers. But for the most part, they've been able to take care of the ball in recent weeks. And I think they're going to be able to do that again today. You might see Drew Chrisman some, but if it ends in a kick, that's all right. If it ends in a punt, that's not the end of the world, especially if this defense does what I think it can do. They forced 16 turnovers during this 9-game winning streak, and it's really in 7 games because they didn't force a turnover in Tennessee. They didn't force a turnover against Pittsburgh, both of which they won those games, of course. And there were 1-possession wins in those games, but 16 turnovers in 7 games. Josh Allen has given the ball away. A key today, a huge one, is turnovers. Win that turnover battle 3-1, 2-0. I think you got to get 2. You got to be +2 at the end of the day. If you do that, I think when we talk the Joe Burrow post-game, which we will post right here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk, when we talk the Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, when we talk the Zach Taylor, all of which are going right here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk, which is why you should hit that subscribe button. I think they're going to be smiling and happy with the end result. So we will see. I also think DJ Reader's going to have himself a game. This team, it's going to be close. There's going to be some gut checks today, but I think they find a way to make one more play. We'll see if they get it done. Regardless, win, lose, we have you covered right here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. So hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and our post-game show, it'll be after the game, our post-game recap video right from the field at Highmark Stadium. So they didn't give us pregame field access. It's full disclosure. It's just tight sidelines. So we didn't have that. So I'd rather give you better lighting, better microphone if I can't be on the field. And so that's why we decided to do it from the lovely confines here. So for Andrew Fox-Miller, our channel coordinator, I'm James Rapien. I will talk to you after the game where the Bengals like to take down the Bills and advance to the AFC Championship game.